Evening, everybody. The week has closed. It's quarter past, excuse me, quarter past midnight here at my place. I'm smiling. I think uranium had an absolutely fantastic week, and yeah, posted some of the charts during the week. Especially yesterday was very good to begin with. We pulled back, and obviously today we had a follow through to the upside. But let's have a look at it. I mean, uranium. This is probably the best week when I look at the charts for like a year, maybe half a year, anyways. Um, yeah, let's dig into it, man. Let's dig into the business. As always, thank you for following all that good stuff. I like the interaction with you guys here on Twitter and YouTube and all that good stuff. Please always keep doing that. That's why I do it. Okay, Sprott Physical Uranium Trust had a nothing burger week, didn't do anything. Let me find my marker. There it is. Bit of a small red candle here, still above every single resistance that there is. Obviously, we have the all-time highs here, or the highs here back from 2022, which is the path of least resistance. So I'm just going to put it in here. There it is. There is the resistance. And I think we will go there because, as mentioned, there's only sellers from here, depending on, we have all the buyers here, which are, will create a lot more support compared to these few guys up here. So I would expect, the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust to within August maybe to go to these highs here, maybe into September. But the time frame doesn't matter to me really. This is my target for on the short term, long term, way higher. But yeah, URNM, the Sprott Physical. What is it? No, the Sprott Uranium Miners. Excuse me, 100% pure play. Tag the upper golden trend line here hasn't broken out yet, depending on how you look at it, but still the wick to wick hasn't broken out. You can see here, perfect alignment over there. Depending if you want to make it down here, so we have this as a fake out, then we can connect all the others here. Breakout, full retest, resumption, then we have broken out. So it's quite different, but the extremes, which I like to use, we haven't taken out yet. Still, it's overall bullish, big move up here above the 30 weekly, coming back down, testing, depending on how you want to do it, the 30 weekly and the trend line there, resumption. And I don't know if we closed above this high. We didn't. That would have been perfect, but still, this is an awesome chart in the making, and hopefully we will have the follow through for the next week or two. But still, this is fantastic. I also want to show you one trend line, which is the internal. You have it here exactly. Right there it is. You can see it clearly. This one is broken, and this is a 1 year long trend line that we have finally broken. Obviously, we have the upper now, but still, this is a very good beginning, confirming that the bias wants it to go higher in my view. So fantastic. URA, on the other hand, has broken out of the long term. It did that a long time ago, but quite similar to the URNM. You can see the breakout here, all the way the retest to the golden trend line exactly, and the 30 weekly, and we're zooming up. And so we have broken this overall structure in my view. We still need to make a higher high. You can see we have a lot of tripwires here all along the way. We have this high, this high, this high, which we hasn't broken yet. But when we break them, the stop losses for the short sellers will be activated. And then last but not least, the final one, we have the red zone here. I can see a lot of interactions here in this zone. So therefore, I would like to take that one out as well. But still, beautiful chart. We are in uptrend now. Clearly, this to me is a stage 2 breakout where we retest the 30 weekly and we will go higher in my view. Until proven otherwise, of course, and I will happily admit, let's say from a month now, and we are turning down, I will happily say this is very bad or this wasn't the case. But for now, very, very bullish if this continues to do what I think it will. Also very bullish is the excuse me, yeah, the URNJ, the Sprott Juniors. Yeah, that one right there, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yesterday we had a big move up early into the day, and then we turned all the way down again. What really happened was just a gap fill. You can see it there, the gap, we filled it again. So I was kind of worried, because when you looked at the URA and URNJ, it could be a fake out. But again, today confirmed it. This is a beauty. And again, The past 2 weeks we have seen above 2x above the weekly average on the volume. What's not to like, in my honest opinion? So looks nice. Very quickly, Cameco again, one heck of a week. I don't know the exact numbers, but I would say it is roughly 5% for the week. Above the long-term wide support resistance, you can see it here. And again, the path of least resistance. Let's just quickly go to the monthly. The path of least resistance is the all-time high. And again, at the all-time highs, I would expect a lot of, well, not a lot, but a quite decent amount of sellers just coming in for those who are trading it, and then we can maybe do some pushback, and then we go higher. But still, that's an obvious place to set the stop loss, to set the targets. Excuse me. So, but still, overall, it's a great chart. The red zone here, if you wonder, that's the Fukushima gap on the daily. Just so if you have that question, anyways. Okay, on to the miners. We will go through them somewhat quickly, but still, let's just enjoy them for now until proven otherwise. This right here, a weekly closing basis breakout on the Denison mines. Look at this. If you zoom out a bit, adorable. I love it. And you can do the measured move here, which is a lot higher. Let's just do it for the audience. I love to do it. So here it is. You take the lows to the highs, and then you take the absolute low of this move here. So on a log scale point of view, if this were to have its full target met, you will have it at around 10, which is the highs here back in 2007. And you are at 1.4 right now, roughly. So that's the big target to go for in this formation. Remember, this is a log scale, so the targets are usually way higher compared to the regular. But still, this is a weekly breakout on Denison Mines. I love it. EU didn't do that much, and then again, sorry, there it is, the weekly. Excuse me, it wasn't the monthly. But anyways, we have a monthly breakout as well on Denison Mines. Fantastic. Look at this one here, textbook, more or less. Breakout, big retest down to the golden trendline resumption, back above the 30 weekly, which should start to curl up now, hopefully, if we can stay in this level here. Again, similar to the other ones, there are some resistance just above because we haven't made a higher high, but still the neckline from this inverted head and shoulders, we should tag it and then break through. Maybe get a bit of a pullback, but then we should break through. This is textbook in my view. So if you see the textbook setups, the outcome is usually what you would expect. So this is great. People are complaining that it is lagging a bit, but still they have a week or two to really get things going, and I think it will above as I mentioned many times, above the 3.8. Find is still lagging way more than the others, still below the 30 weekly, and we are peaking out here today, not with any big momentum or big volume. I think that will happen once we break this one here, that trend line right there, getting above the 30 weekly, you can see. That will be the go-to, and that's also when I think the volume should spike as well. So getting above the 30 weekly, and this at as mentioned many times, 0.44. That's when baseload starts to join the party, I guess. FUU with a down week. I didn't expect that, but anyways, nothing much to add. Zooming out, you can see it here. Big breakout, flagging into the long-term golden support now. 3 lower lows, 1, 2, 3, which I'm looking at in more or less every setup, in every flag, every wedge, it doesn't matter. I'm looking for the 3 impulse lower lows or lower highs when you're consolidating or when you're building a bullish structure. We have broken out above the 30 weekly. Very strong chart still. Nothing to add to that one. Global Atomic is getting a bid here. Again, I don't know. These ones are very difficult. It closed the gap from over here, you can see, at around 1.28. It came down to 1.3. So it might be a gap fill. Yeah, more or less a gap fill. It's getting a bounce here. But I think this one will build a structure that will confirm that the worst is over. As mentioned, I mentioned that this could be a buy here. It went through like butter. So these calls are very difficult to make when you have mega panic in the market, or in this stock specifically. But anyways, I would just wait it out here. Let's see what happens. It doesn't do a V-shape anyways. It only does that if there for some reason should get a result in the what happens in Niger. So yeah, just leave it at that. Same with GoVX. In my view, don't do anything until we break to the upside here, because when we do, if we do, that's also when people are thinking that the worst is over. But then again, just wait for a break of this golden trend line. Nothing much to add, to be honest. Lightbridge, somewhat of an unknown, I think. I don't think many people is looking at that one. Tagging this upper trend line here, again, we have had a long move, so I wouldn't expect us to break it here after such a long move. I do think we need a pause, and then we break. But yeah, we are at the 50 RSI, so maybe we are done correcting, but still, it's a big move. So let's see what that happens. Mega uranium, the name, I love it. Go to the weekly. Go to the weekly. Look at that one. I love it. Breakout weekly, closing at the highs. The volume was good last week and is on par with the average this week. Still, a breakout is a breakout. Looking at the longer term, triple bottom here. This is the big one at around 0.42, excuse me. And when you have that one, you can do the measured moves. But this is a very good start. Above the 30 weekly, which is coming up right now as well. Yes. Next Gen Energy has actually been doing a weird curl here. I don't see that very often. So we have broken out some weeks ago of this long-term trend line there, and we just need the 30 weeks to curl up a bit more and take out the red zone, which you can see all the interactions that we have in the red zone right there. So many at around, let's call it between 6.6 to 7, more or less. So we can say if we can take out the $7 level on a weekly basis, then there is no more resistance until the highs at 8.3, looking fantastic. Paladin Energy took a minor or an internal resistance right there and closed above it. Very nice. We're still in the bull flag. We have it right there. That's the bull flag. So yeah, not a big breakout yet, but still we took an internal resistance out, which is nice. Zooming out, this is a very, very nice looking chart. You know, one big pole in the flag. And let me show you one trend line here. You can take the top there and just see where we are right there. So we are very close to, depending on how you want to make it, very close to a big 15-year long breakout if this flag results to the upside. But it's a great chart. And we have Energy Fuels, also one that people likes a lot. Big, lovely weekly candle, above average volume. Again, we haven't made a higher high, so I guess that's against us, but still, this is a very good start. And again, above the 30 weekly, it looks good. It looks absolutely fantastic. You can also see here in my view, big inverted head and shoulders. There it is. There it is. So I like this chart very much all of a sudden. It looks good. Looks very good. So yeah, I mean, the ETFs and the miners looks very good at the moment. So let's look at some ratios to see if that's also confirmed that the bias that we have, that we are about on the verge of something very nice for the uranium investors. So let's look at the URNM divided by the spot price. You can see here we tagged exactly the trend line coming down here. What we also did, this is the neckline, inverted head and shoulders. We broke that and stayed above. So that's very nice to see for sure. This was a major bottom that took roughly 6 months to do. We're above the 30 weekly again, and when we take out this long-term trend line, that's when the miners outperform the spot price of the metal. And that's when things goes really, really nice in our favor. So lovely. Let's see if we can get the breakout next week. That's when you'll see more momentum into the ETFs. I just want to show you this one. We looked at it many times before. This is the XLE divided by the SPX. So the energy sector overall, oil and gas most likely. And yeah, we had blue flag that we looked at here into the long-term upper golden here, and we're just moving higher. That's amazing. We want the energy sector to outperform the overall markets, and yeah, uranium is energy, so I love it. This one is a bit more of a complex ratio, I would say. This is one that I have been made myself. I don't know if anyone else has done it. I think there are, but still, this one that I'm looking at, which is the URA divided by the energy input cost divided by the spot price. So if oil goes up, that means it's dragging URA down. And again, if the spot price goes up for uranium, that means that the ratio it's pulling it up, because the number in the parentheses here goes up in that case. And we are getting a bounce here in the green support zone and the 30 weekly. So let's see where that goes. But this one is, I don't look at it that often, but it's nice. Let's see. Let me show you the URA divided by the spot price. Again, the URA is only 70%, I think, uranium miners, but still, there it is, a peak above. Quite similar to the URNM. Divided by the spot price, you have an inverted head and shoulders right here. I can show you on the daily, it's a bit more clear. There it is. And we are almost above, there it is actually, we're almost above the neckline as well. So this is looking mighty fine. Again, getting above this neckline, as you know, 0.404, I've mentioned it on Twitter as well, is a big level to get through, because then we have broken the golden resistance and the long-term inverted head and shoulders. So look for this number here, look for this for weekly close above. That will be enormous in my view. Again, above the 30 weekly, which is still going down a bit here. So yeah. The URA divided by the SPY, we are back into the squeeze, which is this one, the main here. And then I have copied this one. I copied to that one right there. Makes perfect sense. You have all these interactions coming along the way right there. And we are back into this bullish wedge and above the 30 weekly. So this is a nice start, but again, we need to get above the upper before we can really start to outperform. But to me, this is okay. But it needs like a few weeks before we can say if this has any valid to it, but still it's nice. This is the URA divided by the CRB, or the commodities itself. I just want to show you that these right here, we had a big move down, then we retraced to the top, smaller move to the top, smaller again to the top now, and even smaller one. So my guess is that this is the final. This is 1, 2, 3, and we break on the fourth, meaning uranium miners will outperform the overall CRBs, the commodities. And that's the case as long as we stay above this rail here. But it's good. It is good. Also a great candle, actually, on the weekly. Great candle. Last but not least, no, we have one more. But for the uranium part, XLE divided by URNM. This is drawn a long time ago, a month ago, I think. And this is the trajectory I thought when we broke out here. And we're still following it perfectly until this day, more or less. Let's see if it has yeah, it will follow it even more. It's perfect, really. Getting rejected, on the bottom side of the 30 weekly, making a lower high, hopefully. And then we will probably make a lower low at some place. So that's nice, having that the URNM is starting to outperform the XLE, because if this ratio goes down, meaning URNM is outperforming XLE in this case. You can also flip-flop it the other way around, but still, that's nice. And remember, the XLE is outperforming the SPX. So if you have URNM outperforming XLE, that's even better, right? Uranium is looking mighty fine. I love it a lot. Just I want to show you the one ratio, the First Majestic divided by the silver price. This was a big move in 2016 for XAG when it went up 20x or so. I just want to show you that we have a big breakout, actually an internal breakout here, and we're just waiting for the other one here to get to the upside. Maybe we have a lot of pressure on the 30 weekly coming down, but still this squeeze right there is a very, very good start. And you can also see today, I think silver was down or flat, but First Majestic is outperforming 5% today, and that's really nice. That's really, really nice. So that could be the start of gold and silver miners starting to outperform the metal itself. And as you know, I've shown a chart where you can see the relation between uh, the URA and the spot price for uranium and the gold miners in relation to the gold price. And they are heavily related. So if this really is the move or the third leg up for uranium, gold and silver will follow. That's my take. You can see it on the charts. I have it on Twitter. You can find it. So yeah, it is what it is. There might be some more charts that I have forgotten on uranium. There are many charts that is looking absolutely fantastic. If so, and yeah, it is what it is. I can't bring them all. Have a great weekend, guys, and hopefully we are correct that soon this final wick-to-wick extreme trend line here will get taken out. We will have to wait and see. So yeah, have an awesome weekend, and we will see you on to the next one. Cheers.